Hello and welcome to the Sunbirdcrochet Podcast. My name is Claudia and I'm coming to you from Germany. The 31st of December, so it's the last day of the year, and I thought I should actually talk to you before we start into new adventures, just like summarizing the year a little bit by showing you my finished objects. I will put this right at the end if I manage to find all the FO photos. But I would also like to talk to you a little bit about what's happening at the moment, what I've picked up here and there from the different podcasts and what their plans are. And I would like to show you the current state of my whips. I have no finished object today because Christmas celebrations, but I have a couple of works in progress, and I've made some progress with these, at least with some, and I would like to show you. So let's start with whips. First of all, if you have been following my Vlogmas, then you already know my whips, but I would like to show you again. This is a project which I've started with one of my yarn Advent minis from Das Mondschaf, the moon sheep in English. So I'm just using the free pattern by Sunbirdcrochet called Droplets, and it's a 2-row repeat pattern with a spike stitch. I think it's a really pretty pattern, and I'm looking forward to adding the next rows. I'm planning to wear this inside out, maybe, because the stitches look much better from the inside, I think. So this is my first work in progress, the Droplets Cowl by Sunbirdcrochet. My second work in progress is the Bohemian Cardigan by Miglo. I've got the pattern, it's a paid for pattern on Etsy, and it cost me over 11 euros, so I thought it was quite pricey. It is a pattern which has lots of ways to explain to you how to make this cardigan. There is a chart which I think is very good, and there are photo tutorials which I think are good as well, and then there is the written pattern which I think is very bad. It must be a translation problem for one thing, and I've talked to you about this before. She's using abbreviations which are not the usual abbreviations. For instance, SC, which is usually standing for single crochet, in her pattern it means starting chain. So it's a little bit confusing if you're used to the normal abbreviations. Also, the wording is a little bit curious. Anyhow, I have finished my 14 colored squares, which are here on my blocking board, and underneath here I also got 4 of the 12 unicolored squares. So these are 18 squares, and I have been busy. I have been working on more of the unicolored squares, and these are So I have to make 12 in total. 4 are already there, which means I need 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm already working on my 8th. So this is almost done. After that, it's the triangular shapes. I don't remember how many I have to make of those, but then it's just the seaming, the sewing together, and then I have a cardigan. I'm looking forward to that. This is actually a very fun project and a mindless project because you can make one square in 1 hour whilst watching TV. I have been watching all episodes of Anne of Green Gables, the Sullivan production from Canada from the 80s with Megan Fellows, and in fact I watched it more than once. Then I have another work in progress, which I always forget to show you. It's the heritage blanket, and really at the moment it's still just the beginning. I haven't added a single row to it, but I'm getting there. I think I will, here, this is where I'm working at, this side. So it's a 3-color row, but I think that this will be the only one I'm going to make. And I will just make this a small square lap blanket instead of a full size. But it is very, very beautiful. This pattern is made by Yaline, one of my favorite designers and podcasters, and I've got all my colors in here already. I don't know what's keeping me from finishing it. In fact, I know I'm getting sidetracked too easily. Then my next project, you might call it a finished project, but I haven't written the pattern down. So I was using some vintage wool, which I had in stash, and I've made a square. This is for the Snowflake Challenge. I will launch this next year, and the idea is that everyone who wants to participate is going to make a square. I still have to measure the square, so I don't know the size, but it would make sense if all the squares would be one size, or at least like double the size of the other or half a size, so that we can add our squares together. That said, we could always add one round and make them fit to each other's side. The design of my snowflake is based on a paper snowflake. I've made this, and then I wrote in here what I would make for each shape. And I will add in here a little video of me making this. hope you enjoyed this. It was a little bit more like slow TV, isn't it? So this is in fact a finished square, but the pattern isn't finished, and I hope that lots of you will participate. It's not really, it doesn't take a long time. You can film yourself and explaining what you're doing and then post it as a tutorial, or you can write it down, or you make a chart. I don't care. It's just a fun thing to do, and if we can have like a little blanket to go with it after all the fun, then even better. I will put up the hashtag here, which you can use to participate in the Snowflake Challenge. Last but not least, in this little bag is my only current knitting project, and it's tiny. I was using Ferner Wolle sock wool, which is a beautiful yarn, but I don't enjoy making socks. I just have to realize it and own it. So this is my start, but in fact I will rip it right now. I will get myself a thicker sock yarn, and then the sock will grow faster and I will have more fun. So the pattern I have been using is the DB Toe Up Socks pattern by Mariette, and it's a brilliant pattern, and most of all she took the time to record video tutorials, so she shows you exactly what to do. And I appreciate this very much because I am a visual learner, and even though I've made plenty of socks before, I always have to go back and to YouTube or somewhere else and look it all up, because unlike with crochet, I can read charts and I understand patterns without photos or video tutorials. With knitting, I don't know the language that much. I know knit and purl and some of the things. I always have to look the rest up, and it takes double the time. So that's frustrating for me at the moment. I might use this wool as a giveaway. I have another ball of this yarn in pristine condition. This is lacking like a little bit of a beginning because I've rocked this now the second time. And the ball band, I don't have a ball band anymore, but it's exactly the same like the other one. So I might make a giveaway, either giving them both together away, then you can make socks for your whole family, or I will split it up and make some prizes next year. We will see. So these are all my whips. Can you believe it? I don't think I have forgotten anything. It's under control at the end of this year. All I have to do now is to sort my stash. I want to de-stash quite a lot. My plan is to color coordinate my stash, my old stash, mostly acrylic yarn, to make piles of that, and then to crochet blankets, like lap blankets, using a 6mm hook size and holding 3 strands of yarn together, 2 to 3 strands of yarn together. And then I will donate these blankets to the church. And so I am getting rid of stash, and I'm doing something for the community. That's the idea, at least. I haven't done this yet, but I will do this. I will tackle this in the new year. Talking about the new year, I don't know, I am getting information from all sides what I should do next year. I should lose weight. I should knit a pair of socks every month. I should I should accept change and cut off ties to unhealthy people. I should work on my apps. I should make 9 goals. I should tell people what I want to do next year, and so on and so on and so on. And quite frankly, how stressful is this to tell me at the beginning, or not even, it hasn't even begun, the year hasn't even begun, how stressful is it to tell myself what I will do in the next 12 months? I don't want to do that. Obviously, I want to make plans and I want to have goals and I want to reach goals, but at the same time, I also want to be flexible about it. My goals will change. My ideas will change, so I want to leave room for that, and I don't want to tie myself down with this. Yeah. One of the things I definitely have planned is the Edwardian collaboration with Tiffany from Stitch and Addiction. This is something I'm looking forward to. Also, I'm a little bit nervous about the photo shooting. And in case you're new here and you don't know the story, Tiffany contacted me and asked if I could draw up my dream Edwardian outfit related to Anne of Green Gables. And I made a time-lapse video from that. And she, in return, will send me an Edwardian outfit consisting of a blouse and a skirt. I already own the historical underwear and shoes, and I've made myself a tam because I have short hair, so I can't really put my hair up, and I have like antique jewelry to go with it, which I inherited from my family, so these are actually heirlooms. And I've been making myself, from a vintage pattern, a little cardigan, a sleeveless cardigan called the Ladies Eton Waist, and I will insert a little video here of my progress. This is my Eton waist. As you can see, it has quite a lot of shaping in here. This down here is very much tighter than the rest. Here I have quite a lot of excess bulk, and I'm not sure yet if I will make myself a breast improver or if I will somehow take in some of the fabric. But I will definitely block this first before weaving in the ends and adding the buttons. So that's my progress on the Ladies Eton Waist. A vintage pattern from 1908 in a freely available pattern book by Columbia Yarns. You can find it on archive.org. The stitch pattern is very easy. It's a 2-row repeat of, here, not considering the shaping, but 4 double crochets US terms, and in the next round you make 1 single crochet and a chain free. As you see, well, you could see that it's a little funny shaped. And yes, there are things like breast improvers and bum pads, and you can sew them and you can buy them, but maybe I'm going to make a crochet version for it. I'm not sure. I mean, I do have, it's not like I'm flat, but the ideal shape of it, like the early 1900s, was like a pigeon breast and a very small waistline, and then like a hourglass shape, you know. I'm not like that. But yeah, we will see. So this is a collaboration I'm looking forward to next year, like January, February kind of thing. And I will have to wear, obviously, my outfit and take photos and videos of it and send them back to Tiffany. So this is a little bit, it's exciting, but also I'm nervous. I don't want to look like a total fool. I want to make her garments look the best they can on my body. What else is happening next year? I made notes. Okay, so Martin from 365 Knit Blog is starting a collaboration with a yarn dyer and a knitting designer and a crochet designer next year. First of all, he already announced that the yarn dyer is the little grey girl, and she is going to dye a special yarn with colors he chose, and then there will be a crochet pattern and a knitting pattern, and there will be a crochet and a knit along, and they will be using 4-ply sock yarn. You can also use them from stash, and I think I will actually join the crochet along. I appreciate Martin's effort to include crochet, so I want to support this collaboration if possible. Then another crochet along is run by Liani from Pick Up Stitches podcast and Mariette from Crafty Stitches podcast. They are going to make the Battenberg blanket, which is a free pattern by Sandra Paul, and they are having a group for this. You can send them a direct message on Instagram. Liani is independence_crochet at the moment. She's going to rebrand her Instagram handle to Independence Yarn Craft soon. And Mariette is the Bofro. I hope I pronounced this right. They're both from South Africa, and yes, the Battenberg blanket is a blanket made out of small squares using your yarn scraps, and I think they will run it longer than a year, I think 2 years. So there's ample time to finish your Battenberg blanket. Last but not least, there is a new podcast on the blog. These are the Ply Pals, also 2 ladies from South Africa, and they have announced a challenge. All crafts welcome, so it's not just crochet, knit, or yarn related even. This is the free 6-9-12 challenge, and even though I said I don't want to nail myself down to any kind of plans, this is something which attracts me for the next year. You have a free 6-9-12, so it's up to you to decide what you want to make, like maybe 3 blankets, 6 pair of socks, 9 patterns, and 12 photos, or because all crafts are welcome, there's also the option to draw, to paint, to do cross-stitching. So you can do photography, you can write stories, you can do whatever you want as long as it's a craft and you're using the hashtag. And I'm going to link their new podcast channel down below. These are the Ply Pals. Yes. Last but not least, incoming, as always. I haven't spent any money on this. Aren't you proud of me? These are gifts. My lovely cousin gifted me a new project bag, and it's already full of yarn. I've put my Advent minis in here from Tamimi Colors, but maybe you can still see there are inside pockets for your needles, for your hooks, and there is even a zipper pouch here. This is by There You Grow. I still have to look them up, but I think this is a very nice bag. Certainly a very modern looking bag. It's linen fabric, and it has a round bottom, so it's really housing lots of yarn. Thank you, Miri. So that was a very thoughtful present for Christmas. And then my godchild has been visiting me the last couple of days. She only left yesterday, and she's very much into drawing. I'm working on teaching her how to crochet. She knows a little bit already, but her main craft is drawing. And she drew me 2 things. First of all, she drew me Anne of Green Gables and Gilbert Blythe in her own style. And then also, I just want to share this here. I asked her to draw me something with a sunbird, and to cover the crochet, some yarn and a crochet hook. And she's been creative, and this is what she drew for me. So can you see the sunbird? There are actually 2, and there's a crochet hook and there's yarn. So I just wanted to show you before this is going to go into a frame and onto my wall. And that's all from me for today. I think it's a rather short episode today, but I will try to add as many of my finished objects of 2022 at the end of this video, and I'm going to see you in the new year. Have lots of fun celebrating the new year, and I hope that we're going to see each other again in good health and in good spirits. See you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.